Britain's premier monster truck series. Monster truck racing and freestyle competition have reached the UK for the first time, and there's only one place to see it. Our cameras capture every car crush as we give you the UK's top trucks head-to-head. And as though that's not enough, we've got smoke, flames, speed and stupendous stunts to leave you speechless from Athens. Not to mention some fabulous freestyle motocross from Canada. And of course, the beast that put the monster into trucks, right here on Bigfoot and Friends. We're back at Lyd International Raceway in Kent as the UK's first ever series of pro MT monster truck racing and freestyle display continues. Racing competition has been fierce in recent weeks, and for a change, Nigel Morris in Bigfoot 17 has not had it all his own way. He's still in top spot, but in second place, Tony Dixon will be looking to cause him some problems today in Swamp Thing. In third, Welsh wonder Tim Barks will be hoping he can stay on his wheels this week too. First up, Dave Crossland, Slane the Wart One, faces the mighty Bigfoot 17. Ride Truck Slane struggled with the racing so far, and Dave will have his work cut out to keep pace with Bigfoot's supercharged methanol-injected 514 cubic inch Ford racing engine.
On the start line now, Dave Crossland and Nigel Morris wait for the signal. And Bigfoot's off to the better start, as expected. Slane very slow in and out of the dip there. Nigel Morris is cruising in Bigfoot now, as Dave Crossland gets a bumpy ride in Slane. Bigfoot comes to the turn, as Slane struggles over the second jump. Good turn from Bigfoot. He's into the home straight as Slane approaches the turn. Bigfoot 17 sails home. A really classy performance as Slane the Wart One is left trailing and finishes way behind.
It's the same old story for Dave Crossland.
Well, Dave, you're bouncing about all over the place there. Your back must be killing you.
I am a bit sore. My neck and shoulder aren't quite exactly painless either. It was a new gearbox this morning. We only got it in for 2 o'clock. I wanted to bed it in a little bit. I've taken the first 2 runs, putting a bit more power down each time, and this time I thought, well, let's give it a bit more. And obviously, the more power I try and put down, the more I bounce. But otherwise, it was still quite a fairly straight run and went round fairly reasonable. Because I'm a slow qualifier, I always get drawn against the fast trucks early on. But I'm going to give you a break by now. Come on.
Bigfoot inflicts another battering on the opposition. We'll see if Tooth Terror Swamp Thing fares any better later in the show. We've seen some awesome action over the series, from Athens Extreme Motorsport Madness 2003. From a jet-powered car to a 1,000 brake horsepower drag bike, here's some of our favourite moments so far.
Hello, my name is Mathieu Reboul. I am a freestyle motocross from Switzerland.
Put it in layman's terms or basic terms, it's a hairdryer on a roller skate. We're using hot air to propel us forward. My force to itself is about 20 foot long. It weighs around about 1,650 pounds. It's the fastest car outside the USA at present.
We did this last year. We came back again this year. It was a huge turnout, a huge crowd, and we're having a blast. GMO started back in 1999. We're a group of about 6 or 7 guys that got together and rode our bikes on the streets on weekends, and we kind of put a club together.
We're going to spin the tyre all the way down the track, create lots of sound, lots of smoke, and hopefully help the crowd to enjoy the event. At the end of the day, we're here to put on a good show for the fans.
I always open the show up on Harley Davidson. It's 300 kilograms. It's 1,700 cc's.
We leave Greece with a taster of how Bigfoot wowed the Athenian crowds. We'll have the full story later in the series. We'll have some surfing action in a couple of minutes on Sonny Ferguson's Honda Fireblade. Now though, Welsh Dragon Tim Barks treats us to another of his dazzling freestyle displays in Thunderfoot. Thunderfoot back the right way round as Tim Marks takes on the Hulk and Blown Thunder in part 2. Time now to uncover more stunt secrets as we head over to Canada, where freestyle motocross nut Jeff Banks introduces our camera crew to a stripper.
My name is Jeff Banks. I'm from Kelma River, British Columbia, Canada, and I'm going to tell you guys how to do a stripper. Stripper, the best way to look at it is it's a Cordova off one foot. The Cordova is where you jump through your handlebars, you pry your knees forward, and you arch your back around, or curve yourself over. And all a stripper is you do it off one foot. So you got one foot through the handlebars, and I think that they look way better. It's just the next variation off of the Cordova. They call it a stripper because the way a stripper does like a pose on a pole, it looks just like that. Once you know how to do a Cordova, a stripper comes almost second nature, because all you're doing is linking two tricks together. You do a candy bar and you do a Cordova at the same time and you got a stripper. I've actually heard of people doing a stripper and then having their one boot that they're prying on slip through the handlebars. But I honestly can't see that actually happening, like, as long as you actually had a good grip on the bike. Like, it seems like pretty far-fetched.
There'll be more inside information from the stunt world in just a minute. Now though, most of us would be pretty cautious about lending our wheels to somebody else. But if they were going to do this with them, they'd have no chance, right?
My name's Ian Beatty. I'm from MTR Promotions. We're the company that bring these events to these towns. Normally, on a normal day, I would be the starter. I would start the show, and I would be safety official. But today, one of our drivers from Blown Thunder, he's gone away on holiday. But we needed the truck here, so I'm going to jump into the hot seat today. I've been doing stunt shows for about 15, 20 years now, doing car crashes, motorcycle jumps, and for us, the next best thing to improve what we were doing was to move into the monster truck scene. And I brought the first truck across into England. And I drove that in England for 5 years without any competition whatsoever. This Blown Thunder here is the most powerful truck that we've got here today. For me myself, I've never actually seen inside of the truck. I don't know how any of the controls are going to work on this truck. I think I should be able to get the full potential out of the truck. But having said that, it depends if I can pick up like the left and right steering on the rear. That's the critical point in these trucks. If you can't get around the corner, you've lost it. Well, with today's racing, I want to beat Thunderfoot and Nigel. Both of them have been driving trucks for a while. They're one step ahead of me at the moment because I haven't had any seat time doing this actual racing on these courses. But with a lot of power there and a lot of my normal experience, I'm hoping to get them a good run for their money. I'll be looking after Trevor's truck because it's not my truck there. You know, I'd like to give him his truck back in one piece, and I'm going to be out there winning.
We'll see if Ian Beatty can deliver in part 2 as he takes on Thunderfoot in his first race. Now though, stunt riders Sonny Ferguson and Julie Porteous show us how to surf on a bike.
Hello, my name's Sonny Ferguson. Today I'm going to explain to you how me and Julie actually surf on the bike. It's an awkward little trick when you do it for the first time. Just doing it on your own feels very strange. To do it two up, there's somebody else that has to play a part in it, and if they get it wrong, we both can fall off the bike. Julie gets up on the bike first so that she gets balanced. I get up onto the tank with the tick over turned up slightly. Then I get myself balanced, let go of the handlebars and stand up, and Julie stands up with me. We both stand up at the same time and we both put our arms out. The dangers of the trick are if Julie decides, if she moves or the wind catches her, she only has to lose her footing and she'll bring both of us off the bike. She hasn't done it yet, so hopefully she won't do it.
My part in standing up is basically keeping the balance. You are quite far from the floor. From the first time you do it, it's quite a daunting thing looking down over from the bike. And when the bike picks up and drops speed, you do sort of rock yourself backwards and forwards, which can also unbalance you. So it's basically keeping as still and upright as possible, and hopefully staying on.
We'll be revving up for some more racing action in part 2 with Hulk versus Thunderfoot. With a little help from his friends at Air Wars, Jeff Banks explains the rock solid. It's Crash Bang Wallop with more monster truck mishaps from the Bigfoot archives. And there's a second helping of freestyle monster truck action with Bigfoot 17 when Bigfoot and Friends returns. Welcome back to Bigfoot and Friends at Lynn International Raceway, where Hulk and Thunderfoot are preparing for battle. Drew Thornton will be helping eking out manoeuvre Thunderfoot on the bend as his 900 brake horsepower pales in comparison to the awesome 1,350 brake horsepower of Tim Bark's Pride and Joy.
It's the Hulk versus Thunderfoot. And they're away, with Hulk just getting the edge over Thunderfoot as they come out of the dip. Thunderfoot's made up the ground though and leaps into the lead. Fortress got the jump too, and Thunderfoot doesn't clear it well. Hulk comes into the turn. This is going to be a close one as they swing round together. But Thunderfoot starts to pull away now and leaves Hulk for dead with a real powerhouse finale. Drew Thornton must be shell-shocked after that sprint finish from Tim Barks in Thunderfoot.
Drew Thornton blown away on the home straight.
Well, Joe, you didn't do much wrong there, but Thunderfoot just had that extra bit of power.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably making nearly twice as much power as I'm making with this old girl, but yeah, I'll give it my best shot, but unfortunately at the end of the day, the better truck won.
Well done, Tim, another good win for you there. You just seem to have the extra speed on that one.
Yeah, we ran well on that one. It's always difficult going down the first side of the cars. We always struggle with that because this truck tends to bounce a little, and it's hard to get the truck lined up and then get it around the turn at the end. And then my favourite bit then, light it up and fetch it home.
No rest for Thunderfoot as he takes on Ian Beatty in Blown Thunder. It's Ian's first race, and with Blown Thunder's staggering 1,700 brake horsepower, he's in with a chance.
Ian Beatty's been looking forward to this all day, but Thunderfoot's top opposition. They will start well. Thunderfoot's quickly after the dip and accelerates hard. Blown Thunder hits the first jump, it clears it by a mile. Can Thunderfoot respond to that? Blown Thunder comes into the corner, ahead of Tim Barks in Thunderfoot, but Blown Thunder stopped. Blown Thunder's in trouble. Thunderfoot's clear into the home straight, and that's a huge jump to take the win. Well, Ian Beatty was flying in Blown Thunder. A real shame he couldn't finish, because that was developing into a great race. And Blown Thunder suffers the indignity of being towed back to the pits.
It looks so promising for Ian Beatty. Let's ask him what happened.
When I went over that first set of cars, I thought there were 6 cars under there because I thought I was flying, and I looked across. I could see Tim was already behind us.
He said he was looking across and he knew it was going to be really tight to the finish. It's a shame his motor let go for him.
Blown a head gasket, but the main thing is that the flex plate has come away from the engine, so there's 6 blows inside, which means I have to drop the gearbox, take the torque converter off, and then replace all the blocks.
It's not nice to beat them that way. It's nice to beat them fair and square, but we came through, so we took the win.
We'll see Swamp Thing try and sink his teeth into Bigfoot in a few minutes. Before that, Nigel Morris gets to show off and have some fun as he shows us what Bigfoot 17 can do in the freestyle. Freestyle is all about crowd appreciation, and that's why Bigfoot is still in top spot. Still to come, Tony Dixon tells us why it's been a good year so far for Swamp Thing. Now it's time to tighten your safety harness and fasten your neck brace as we give you more from the Bigfoot Archive Crash Collection. We begin with a demonstration of how to roll a monster truck with Andy Brass in Bigfoot 8, hooking hard into the corner, which leaves him light on the back end, and over he goes. This shows a race in California, where the truck lost its rear power steering, and again, over we go. Team Bigfoot were more fortunate on this occasion. A very near miss. Just how he gets back on his four wheels, I don't know. You'll see a few examples here of the trucks losing their tailgates. When Bigfoot trucks first began using tubular frames, they become so much more powerful and responsive that when doing a car crush, they simply headed skywards. The driver had to learn how to cope with this, and this was a steep learning curve. It took a lot of broken parts before they figured out where they were going wrong. This is one of the most violent crashes experienced by a Bigfoot. With the two trucks at full racing speed, it demonstrates just how powerful these trucks are. That nobody was hurt is testimony to how strong the new trucks were. Having been run over by another monster truck, the only damage was to the fiberglass and a tyre. Of course, crashes are sometimes caused by the drivers getting a little bit carried away. I wouldn't want to have been the cameraman for this one. It gets a little too close for comfort as the driver tries in vain to correct his steering. There'll be more madness from the Bigfoot archives next time round. The Tooth Terror Swamp Thing might be the lowest powered truck in the series, but Tony Dixon's tenacious driving has taken them to second spot in the racing championship.
So far this year I've been going really, really well. The last two events I've more or less come second at both events, and I'm really confident for what I'm going to do today here at Lid. There's only one competitor I'm really after beating. I've come second with him twice so far, and that's Bigfoot. He just pips me every single time. I'm ahead of him normally into the turns, but he just has so much power on the way back, he just managed to pip me just right at the post. It's been so close, but I'm determined to get him this time. I want him so bad. Bigfoot's got nearly 1,500 horsepower. My engines have got about 700, so he's nearly twice as powerful as I am. But Nigel knows I'm never going to give up. I'm like a pit bull when I'm after him. So when he comes to the line, it's only a couple of feet in it normally. So I'm going to get him today, I'm sure of it. As you can see, Swamp Thing's fairly distinctive. It actually meant to look like an alligator, but at the moment it's got some busted teeth at the moment, because last time we was in freestyle I tried to do something a little bit different. So I actually did a crab steer, what we normally do when we're doing a parade lap. I actually jumped a car doing a crab steer, and it come up and it bit its teeth off, so it needs to have a visit to the dentist, I'm afraid.
A chance for Swampy to get that all-elusive win over Bigfoot in just a moment. Before that, Jeff Banks shows us why to do this trick you have to be rock solid.
My name is Jeff Banks. I'm a freestyle motocrosser from Campbell River, British Columbia, Canada. A rock solid is where you do a double grab, both hands on the seat, and then you let go. And then you grab back onto the seat and pull back onto the bike. A few guys were doing the rock solid back in Air Wars there. I don't know. Lots of times when you see the trick done, you don't know if it's a screw up or not, because the way a rock solid looks, it looks like you basically botched the double grab sometimes, unless you can extend it and hold it really nice. It can, a lot of people can mistake it for a mistake. This jump is just so way too small to get a rock solid off. It's only a 60-foot jump, and it's really hard. I'm not used to hitting jumps that small, and you'd have to do it so fast. I did one, but it, can't really make it look that nice, and it was pretty sketchy to get back on the bike in time. I'm used to jumping 80 or 90 now. All the demos I've been doing here in Canada, we've been running a little bit bigger jump, and I like it better. The crowd likes it better. It works out great.
More from our stunt experts next time. Our last race of the day now from Lid, with Bigfoot 17 versus Swamp Thing. With Nigel Morris at the wheel, Bigfoot 17's looks almost unbeatable. The stats are against Tony Dixon, but he's determined to notch up a victory against the truck that's topping the table.
Nigel Morris gives the thumbs up as Tony Dixon prepares for a battle. Swamping's off to the better start. Down and out to the dip ahead of Bigfoot, who starts to make up some ground now, but Tony Dixon's really going for it in Swamp Thing. He wants this one so badly. Coming to the turn, he's well ahead of Bigfoot, but he's oversteering completely, and he's straight over the hay bales. He could be disqualified for that. Bigfoot's wide on the turn as Swampy storms home to his first win over Bigfoot 17, and we have a controversial result here.
Swampy's done it, and Tony Dixon's delighted.
I beat him to the finish line. There was a bit of controversy on the corner there. The course is really, really tight, and I just didn't want to run wide, so I pulled it in as tight as I could. Controversially, as you said, I hit the hay bales.
Pro M2 racing rules and MTRA racing rules are very clear. They stipulate that if you make contact with a course marker, you're effectively disqualified from the race. I think it's very obvious to anybody who saw the footage that Tony fairly severely made contact with a course marker, in this case a hay bale, and he should have been disqualified.
A controversial result, but it means that wins this week for Thunderfoot and Swamp Thing leave Bigfoot's championship lead looking shaky. Can he hold on? Find out next time on Bigfoot and Friends.
Don't forget World Tour Terra Circa tonight at 8, but right now it's motocross and so much more with High Octane.